Hi everyone, Michael Cavacini here. I want to share with you my review of a book. The book I'd like to review today is The Store by James Patterson. So here is what The Store is all about. When Jacob and Megan Brandis plan to expose a secretive and evil corporation, the fallout threatens to destroy them. Jacob and Megan Brandis have gotten jobs with the mega-successful, ultra-secretive Store. Seems perfect. Seems safe. But their lives are about to become anything but perfect, anything but safe. Especially since Jacob and Megan have a dark secret of their own. They're writing a book that will expose the Store, a forbidden book, a dangerous book. And if the Store finds out, there's only one thing Jacob, Megan, and their kids can do: run for their bloody lives. Which is probably impossible because the Store is always watching. So that is the premise of The Store by James Patterson. I recently read it, and it's interesting. I mean, immediately it became abundantly clear to me that The Store is Amazon. They're just talking about this mega, this gigantic entity, retail entity, that has far-reaching impact on the world, and you got to think Amazon. I mean, James Patterson's not calling it Amazon; he calls it The Store, but that's really what he means. And this book came out in 2017, and obviously at that point, Amazon is still a behemoth. Now they're even bigger and have even more influence than ever before. But it's a fascinating premise because there are people like that, right, who love Amazon, like myself, and there's others who demonize it and think it has far too great of a reach in multiple industries and it's a monopoly and all that stuff. So to read a novel that's kind of ripped from the headlines, kind of like Law and Order, where they kind of take something that we can all relate to and then craft some thriller around that, I think is always intriguing. Because as I was reading this book, I just kept thinking about Amazon and my own opinion of it and all that stuff. And what if I were the characters? I think any great novel makes you want to imagine, what if I were in their shoes? How would I be reacting? What would I be doing? And with this book, with Jacob and Megan, that's the way I felt. I felt like, I wonder how I would respond to that situation. So I do think it's quite a good book. It's a good read. Of course, it's James Patterson. There's always they move at a fast clip. So whether you're listening to the audiobook, reading the Kindle book, or just reading a physical book, I mean, these chapters are just very brief and keeps things moving. And the thing I like about the short chapters is it makes you feel like you're being productive, right? Because if the chapters are just, I don't know, a few pages long, you can read more in a shorter period of time. You're technically reading the same amount of words, but because you're reading that many chapters, by the end of your reading session, you feel like, wow, I did an amazing job. I read 10 chapters, even though each of those chapters may have been 5 pages or less. Yeah, and I do think it does help break things up, because anytime you see a really long chapter, it can be intimidating, and it can actually prevent you from reading. So James Patterson is very smart that way. But anyway, back to the story. Interesting characters. They're well developed. The premise is good. It also reminded me a bit of Wayward Pines, because they're in this place where everyone is acting a certain way, and there's a certain mysteriousness about it, where you feel like the town folk are hiding something, right? They are being very superficial and very, I don't know. They're being overly positive and idealistic, and it just feels like they're being phony. So if you've ever seen Wayward Pines, the show, or read those books by Blake Crouch, it gave me that vibe, which I love. I think it's great. Twin Peaks, that kind of something's off, but you're not sure what type of feel. So yeah, it's a good book. I think it's really a fun read, but it's also scary because you're like, this could happen. And any great thriller mystery always starts with what if. Lisa Scottoline, who I'm friends with and have gotten to know over the years, Harlan Coben, same deal. They always start their books by saying, "Hey, what if this happened?" And then that's kind of the impetus for their stories. They come up with a what if question, and the book answers it. Um, so for James Patterson, I just think it's really fascinating, considering he is probably makes a ton of money off of Amazon because his books are written, and I'm sure the majority of them are sold on Amazon. So for him to write a book that essentially is about Amazon without being about Amazon is kind of intriguing. But anyway, have you read the store? What are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you any other James Patterson books that you are a favorite of yours? Feel free to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't read the store and you want to, there's a link down there for you to click to buy yourself a copy. So yeah, that is The Store by James Patterson and my thoughts on that book. I enjoy his work for what it is. And actually, I picked up a copy of Alex Cross, which was originally published as Cross. I saw this when I was walking down the street the other day. Someone was getting rid of it. So I thought, okay, I've never read it. Why not? So I'll probably do a video about that at a later date. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day, and feel free to share your thoughts about what it is you're reading at the moment, and your thoughts on The Store by James Patterson. Have a great one. Take care, and most of all, happy reading.